All right, Jack McCaig here, John McCaig. John is the straw man name, the legal name that I was given, and Jack is what everyone called me, as still does. So, having two names has always come easy to me. Hold on a second. Because, I had two names growing up. I had a legal name and I had whatever, a name everybody called me, John and Jack. So, it wasn't that much of a stretch for me to lose my programming. And oh, there's this extra corporation you're giving at birth. It's not you. And people run corporations. They're not corporations. Oh, okay. So listen. Anyway, I'm doing a. I was gonna do a. I am gonna. I'm doing a video on my biographical, like my background and stuff like that. Just some basic details about me that people probably have been asking about. You see, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it live. And if anybody has any questions, they can ask. All right. Sweet Cicely. Hey, sweet Cicely. So if anybody has any questions as I go through this, Norketcha, hey. All right, people. So we're gonna. It's ask anything. Because I don't have too much biographical data up on like my past and stuff. And I used to have just hundreds and hundreds of video that had done out there, proof and all that stuff, and a lot of it had to get taken down because of the censorship issues, in America. And we're moving that information, all of it, and a lot more, over to Patreon here. So be patient. It's all going to be available again. It's just terms and conditions of YouTube and yeah, like the social media stuff. They just block out any truth. So let's start. Let's start. And just so anything that comes up, and it's not like a ego trip I'm doing here. People, it's like, oh, Jack, you've been helping people for a decade with this information that nobody knows. We want to know more about you. So it's not an ego trip or anything like that. It's just hey, this is information on me. If you want to know more or whatever, let me know. How do you stop eviction foreclosure? That's not actually the question. That's not actually the question. The question because what? Everything at court happens is fake, right? All court cases they're all fake. Law is fake, judicial system, right? Judicial process fake, 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 right? They all worship the devil, whatever. So it's all fake, right? So you can't win a foreclosure like the court proceedings because they're fake. They're going to win every time. I have been to court against the bankers 50 times more than any other human. I know. I never won in court. Never. Always had the proof. Always was right. Always had super many laws, on my side and all that. Always had the proof. Just documents of proof and all this stuff. They don't care. That doesn't matter in court, right? So there needs to be a spiritual solution that, okay, you did your paperwork of foreclosure, but the issue is, can they seize the property? Can they come there and take it? The answer is no, not if you have the right spiritual technology, and that's in my new book that's out right now, getting formatted, and it's going to be up on Patreon first. I'm going to move all my truth and all that stuff over to Patreon. So there's not going to be any limits on what I can talk about, like on this channel and stuff like that. Okay, so it's more important to have that solution. And that solution has been working, of course, everywhere in the United States with all my clients, and so they can't seize the property. So they made up this thing about shutting the world so that the truth wouldn't catch on, right? The truth wouldn't go viral, right? So, because that's all that matters, right? That's all this is. It's a turf war in the end, right? One side or the other, wheat and the chaff. We're separating them. So that's really what it's about, Orchestra, and that'll be in my new book, The Complete Answer, exactly, and it's free. The method to win is free, and it takes like you know I would say 5 minutes at the most to do to win forever any real estate. So that'll be the new book. That kind of stuff has to be over on Patreon. Okay. Sweet Sicily. I'm working on getting 508c1A. Yeah, it's not a 508c1A, so you're kind of like off right there. That's the section of code that allows for 501c3 status, so it's not 508c1A. It's getting 501c3 status through 508c1A. And of course, our school is the other one with proof, and I have the copyrighted information. So, what's this video going to be called? Always copied, right? I'm always copied, right? I'm always copied, but I'm never duplicated, right? I have 50 court cases against the bankers, more than anyone alive. No one else. Everyone that copies me, zero. I'm the one that went to brought up in D.C. and in high school I went to Gonzaga. You know, this because of the riots and stuff down in D.C. I could, with my grades, I could get into this elite Jesuit high school. That you could see the Capitol building. From my Jesuit high school. So, that's where I started my education, and after that, I went to University of Maryland, and I finished up at a smaller college in Maryland, Mount St. Mary's College, in 1984. Graduated with business and finance degree. My other degrees in '98, I graduated with an MBA from University of North Carolina, and I graduated with what's called a master's in the science of accountancy, a second graduate degree in business from University of North Carolina. So some education, information, and background. And the funniest name, really, if I go back to grade school, I went to a school called Little Flower. I'm not kidding. It was called Little Flower. This Catholic school. Boy, was I given a hard time. It was like naming a boy Sue, right? That song. It was so funny. And I had to ride a public school bus to get to, you know, my private little flower, and I had to walk from you know, take the public school bus to the junior high in my coat, I mean, in my tie and white shirt and everything, and then walk through the woods, from the junior high school, get razzed the whole time, and then go over to Catholic school. So it was a little flower, get dropped off in the public school. I mean, it was hilarious. Uh, but I learned a lot from that crew over there. Brought it over to where I was. Anyway, so I was just doing like my background, kind of that kind of stuff on this, and asking any questions as I do it, no problem. Uh, Dorkecha, how do you change the deed with the trust? A quitclaim deed. Um, if a state recognizes common law marriage, do they also recognize all the laws of common law? Oh, Tracy. Uh, yeah, that's a funny word you have recognized. You see what I'm saying? The common law works. Period. Right? What's the law common to everyone? It's we everyone knows the golden rule, right? That's the law that's common to everyone. You know what it is. It's also they call it in India or in Asia. You know what I mean? They call it dharma, Dharma. The underlying law of reality that your actions will have a reaction, right? Your actions automatically have a reaction, means there's an underlying law that makes that reaction occur based on your actions. Your actions against that law are called karma. You see what I'm saying? And so that is the law that's common to all. Period. Someone may say it's something else, but they're not able to explain that what the law is, and that is the law that is common to all. So that you can live under that one law. When you switch your affiliation from we, right, the devil, to Christ, you see to say that you're like, oh, I'm gonna go with that other law. Don't worry, you could trust me because you signed irrevocably. You could trust me. I'm with Christ now. I follow the golden rule. Okay, great. Then we don't need to worry about you like drinking and driving and doing all the evil stuff we do actually need cops for, watching over them. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real. But when you're willing to follow the common law, well, you're no longer a problem. You'll do your best. God will help you. That's that. So it's not about what's recognized. You follow? They recognize it. Everyone working in every government, is a reincarnating being that remembers all their lifetimes. So they recognize it more than you do. Let me tell you. They really recognize it. They live by it. All right? Okay, Nurkesha. What's the name of your book? I don't want to divulge actually one single thing about it until it's out because it's only going to go to, the people in the mentor program, like uh, the people more engaged with the school an ongoing manner. You already have the trust. We'll send out an email to get it to those people first. This is the cutting edge spiritual technology. Period. It's a textbook of information on how to, what's going on around you, and then how to defeat the invisible, you know, game we're up against. You see, and I'm not leaving anything out, um, because what's the point? I realize people don't have the full picture. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that trust. Maybe I shouldn't. You have no idea what situation you're in. You see, and so it's just more important that people get that overview and be like, oh, this is what's going on. I get it now. You see, and then moving forward there is no. You can't, once you know the truth, there's no, you can't go back and take a blue pill. You see, once you take a red pill, once you have the truth, well, that's it. You're stuck with it. So it's like, okay, what do I do with that? What's the solution? So it's not enough to describe the problem, even if I do it perfectly, which, you know, I do it in a way that is just really just plain English. There's no decoding needed on your end or anything like that, and nor with the information on what's going on, nor with the solution. Completely easy to understand. I didn't want to make it complex in any way, shape, or form. Like, a lot of the information is, oh, it's in the Bible. Well, yeah, that takes some decoding. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's just the information you need based on experience? Based on experience, Uh, so good question, Marquez. But I'm just gonna hold back on that for that reason because those people doing the work with the trust and so on, they want to know. I know you're one of those people, and they deserve to get this spiritual technology first. You see what I'm saying? They're going to get it first. Let it sink in, change their programming, and change their actions, and their karma will change, and so on. You see? What type of trust do you teach? It's a trust that you could get 501c3 status automatically. It's a trust where you don't report any ever to the IRS. You never fill out a form to report, and you never pay the IRS taxes. That kind that has 501c3 status is a nonprofit. They call it, but it has from the IRS 501c3 status. It's called, and that's. Oh, you're a nonprofit, tax free, yeah, yeah, all that. That's exactly the answer to your question. Okay. Yes, Christian, that's true. I call it. I'll explain it the way Christian is. But the end thing that you want to know, uh, Sweet Cicely, is you have 501c3 status. That's it. You're gonna have a trust with 501c3 status. You don't report. You don't pay taxes. Period. And it's structure based. Everything else, like, oh, this LLC or a statutory trust or just all these other things. If you do this, then you have to either report taxes or pay taxes or both. Some action is performed that you perform, right? And your karma is, oh man, you got to pay taxes or report. This one is structure based. You see what I'm saying? There's never reporting, never paying taxes, never. It's the structure. It happens when you get the EIN properly. That's how it happens. You see what I'm saying? So you don't apply or anything like that past the EIN. Boom, that's it. You move forward. 501c3 status at that moment. Go to the bank. You can open this type of trust in a day, literally. But as Krishna was saying, this is actually a private, common law, irrevocable ecclesiastical trust. That's actually the correct terminology. There's no other trust that has all those terminologies except for the email we trust, actually. It has the same attributes. But let's go through them. Okay, private. It's a private trust. What does that mean in relation to trust? It means you create it yourself. You don't use another agent, agency. You don't go through the Secretary of State. You don't use a lawyer. You don't use a accountant. Blah blah blah. Do it yourself. That's what in this it says private means. Private. Common law. I just went over what common law meant. So that's it. Uh, and if you take the common law, irrevocably, you're never going to go back on your word. You sign, that's it. I'm with Christ. It's irrevocable. You can't go back. It's not possible to go back. It is not possible. Okay? And when you irrevocably sign with that common law, I'll do my best every day to the common law. That's it. In the name of Christ. Okay? Then what does it become? Ecclesiastical. It's backed by God. Try me, you see? That's why I go to court. Hey, you have 15 court cases, Sarasota County, Florida, battle to the death on Facebook. Come one, come all. It's free. See if I die. Christ versus the devil. Remember that? Come on. Post it on Facebook. Everybody come. Who does that? Only myself, right? I'm the only one you could trust because I'm the only one that went to the death time and time again publicly. You know, 2016 in January, right? January 8th, I believe it was. That's when Facebook memorialized my account, i.e., if you look up into memorialize the account, there has to be a notarized death certificate, or you have to have, like in a newspaper clipping, you know, your death. Somebody sent in. One of the two. No, Facebook's like, this guy tells too much truth. We're going to try to scare him. They also murdered this 33 character that wrote a book that he interviewed on my radio show 5 times at that point. Same day, right, that I got memorialized that character. Oh, he got killed. Oh, yeah, whatever. He didn't exist. He was just a character. So, you know, little background, you know, just so you're filled in. Uh, so anyway, that's the answer to the trust question. Uh, it's a 501c3, sweet Kate. It's Sweet Sicily. That's again 501c3 status. You get it? Christian, hey Jack, I'm trying to get the ball rolling a little bit first before our advising session. Okay. Good for you. Way to go, Christian. That's a good list. You got on here, you brought up that stuff, and you got into it. Congratulations. Sweet Sicily, thank you. Legal Zoom is illegal Zoom. Yeah, no, there's no converting. That's not possible, Sweet Sicily. You actually, our school's the only one with proof that our methods work, and you could go elsewhere and they don't have proof. And basically, a lot of people come to the school after they spend time and money elsewhere because here's the difference with our school, right? I post my proof that it works, and we have super many testimonials from our students. Each testimonial has a notarized affidavit proving what? These are real testimonials by real people. No other school has that. Not Legal Zoom certainly doesn't have any testimonials about, hey, I don't ever pay taxes anymore. Hey, I don't ever report taxes anymore. No. No other website has that. No other school has it. No other lawyer, no other accountant. You're not going to get that anywhere, Sweet Cicely. You're only going to get proof here. Not at Yale, not at Harvard, right? You're not going to get any proof there. You're just going to get billed. Oh, yeah, what'd you get? I have to pay a lot of money. Oh, good for you. Great. What do you get out of liberty8academy.org? Go watch the testimonials. You know, you get paid back in the first year, and then from then it's gravy, and a lot of it. Uh, okay, Christian, got the sapphires. And now you're talking. Yep, that's okay. Yeah, do your Amex. Yeah, do your Amex. Yes. Uh, See what happens. The city's not as important, okay? That's like maybe later or whatever. The Amex, yeah, today no problem. That you actually went in the right order because the Amex is better to. I'm sorry, easier to get. So you nailed it. You nailed it. Do the Amex? Yes. Hey, way to go. Like seriously, you took my advice. You did the right thing. Did it right away. Next live session, you're already that far forward. Way to go, Christian. I love it. Seriously. Uh, I recommend the Jack's program because LegalZoom. What? They charge you $1,300 to do. Oh, here, get taxed. Sorry, we don't do that. Oh my God. Yeah, I hate that story, sweet sister. I get so much of that, you know? People waste money, but, I wasted time too thinking, oh, sovereignty and all, all that nonsense that the Freemasons are out there lying to us, spending, I guess trillions of dollars, and every influencer, right? Every influencer, give you this influencer, right? Can we have some influenza? Great, thanks. ah, you know. And let's go since we're going into a little history of me. Let's keep going. Uh, I became homeless at 07, 08. I had a up until that point I was a builder, licensed general contractor for a long time. Uh, and I was licensed over the years in Maryland, New Mexico, North Carolina. I built earthships like in the 90s, the straw bale houses, stuff like that. I had in New Mexico out in Taos. I come back east to North Carolina and built there, and then lost everything in 07, 08. Lost everything. Ended up homeless with nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then I was like, okay, and credit ruined and so on. So what I did is like I'm gonna get back at the bankers, right? I'm gonna clear my credit, which I did, and then I posted proof that it won in court. All my NDAs that I had, non-disclosure agreements, and the checks that I won. I didn't win in court, but they settled when I brought up the truth, right? They didn't want that exposed in court, so they let me win outside of court. Posted all that proof, and then I started, helping everyone at Liberty Aid, right? Uh, Helped everyone. Guaranteed. My tagline was, I guarantee to beat any bank or any government. I did that for 5 years like that. And I started out for any donation amount. Who does that? I learned so much, and I'm no longer homeless, as you can tell. So mother, what is it? Mother, no, mother. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? So then I I also at the same time been going on with my spiritual work too, because ultimately this is a spiritual contest too. When you're willing to go into the lion's den repeated like this, they're either going to kill you or you're going to be raised spiritually with knowledge, information, and truth, so they can't harm you. And that's what happened with me, right? Some of the things spiritually that I did. Let's see. My first time in India was in '99. Then I went again in 2017 when I touched Mary Baba's tomb and met with Christ and the Holy Spirit and got Christ consciousness. And in 2019, I went back and found Jesus Christ's tomb in Kashmir. I found it. It's in Kashmir. Yeah, and they closed Earth after that, right? Remember? Also, the pipeline that they had up in there that was a number of years ago where, stop the pipeline, and it was in South Dakota, the cold. My paperwork stopped that pipeline, right? The day that my paperwork got reported, Obama come on TV, stopped that pipeline that day, right? This is just some history for people that don't know me, because my hundreds of videos are up on YouTube anymore, right? Some of them are, but not everything. And for years, of course, I've been into the free homes thing, and that's been working to the point where I'm going to put it in the book succinctly how to do that for anyone. It'll work in any country on earth, for any home you're in, or any vacant home. Any. Uh, Again, it said 50 court cases against the bankers. That's the record. Um, I'm, of course, I brought up, the flat Earth issue and the true nature of our reality. I first spoke that in 2012. I did 2012. Okay. Um, let's see. First time I divulged discussion of the reset, which I actually know the exact dates of the reset now, the time loop we're in, and that's going to be released in my book. The exact date that time is going to end and the exact date it restarts the loop. I know the exact time. Uh, that's divulged in my book coming up. And the first time I brought up the reset concept was in at a live talk I gave at a foreclosure group here in Sarasota, Florida. I think that was in 2018 or 2019. I was the first one to bring that up, and publicly in a public live place. I brought up the concept of the reset to people. So a little history. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds, boarded. Oh, isn't that interesting, right? Anyway, it's hearsay, right? Because I can't remember. But boarded 61, they say. Ha ha. Learn the real reset loop time. That's in my book coming up. Also, I give darshan 3 times a week at the drum circles. We're here twice. Wednesdays and Saturdays at Tacomas, and Sundays usually Siesta Key, Darshan, Darshan. So, I guess, always copied, never duplicated, right? All of my work, even, the debt work I do and all that different information I put out with that and all that, everyone is copied, of course. And, hey, fine, You didn't pay me a nickel, you're using my exact stuff, or you used it, you switched it, and now it's not successful for people. Like, it's amazing. So, I just wanted to give sort of an overview of a little bit of background on me and a little bit of details, a little bit of bio information. I think I covered these things. Okay, let's check out what people are saying here. Kesha. Oh, good. Yeah. No, Kesha. Sovereignty is a hoax, right? You're either with we, me, 33, the devil, or Christ. That's it. There's one alternative or the other. Okay. Christian. Okay, cool, thanks. I'm thinking about the Catch Magnet. Yeah, too. Catch Magnet, great. Fantastic. When I recommended that to someone, they gave a 15,000 credit limit, and all the rest of what you just listed there. So it's fantastic. Yes, do that. Yeah, 15 months, no APR. Yeah, it's a great card. It's a great card, and because they kind of like it's a more recent card of theirs, not like super recent, but they're still they wanted to get out there and people to use it. So no, it's a good choice, Christian. Totally, yes, good one. Sweet Cicely, I'm tax exemption, but had to pay 1,300 to get it, plus 230 annually for. Ouch! Oh my God! Oh, that's a bad list, Sweet Cicely. You should have been. I think it was a couple live shows ago. We had one of our students come on, and she was listed. Her, unfortunately, she had some major health issues, and she's coming out the other side of it. But it was $1 million plus in bills that she didn't have to pay a penny on, and her credit's great and everything due to following this work. Isn't it bad enough you got to worry about your health to that level, and then they give you $1 million plus bill? I mean, come on. Anyway, she didn't have that bill, and that's what she was writing about, right? I hit the like button, right? Sweet sister, that'd be great. Christian, but yes, we've been down the sovereignty and secure party, right? Oh my God, right? It's so bad. It's so bad because you're like, wait a minute. Because you're like, oh, this is so great. Somebody found a solution. You're like, okay, this makes sense. They don't have any proof, though, right? They never have proof. They always have a story. They're storytellers. Look at my story, look at me, look what I'm wearing, look at my concepts. Aren't these big words? Aren't my words important? Are my hand motions neat? Aren't I inspiring? Aren't I charismatic? Dude, where's your proof? Just post your proof and then tell us how you did it. That's what I do. Here's the proof. This is how I done it. I mean, we don't need to hear the rest of it. I'm just, I'm boring. I'm so old guy. Okay, yeah, right, whatever. I'm not like TikTok, where's my skippy thing that I can dance around? I mean, what, Americans? Aren't you embarrassed? Uh, Come on. TikTok, nobody cares what you're doing out there, right? Hey, I'm on TikTok now. Yeah, I know, right? You can say anything. It's like at the beginning of Facebook, back when I was on that, I was like, when that started, I was like, hey, guess what? Tell all the truth. And then later they had 2016, that's when they, memorialized, kill him. It's like, when can they murder me in TikTok? Come see. Private privacy. I created myself. That's so good. Nor catch it. Yeah. People want to get to the tomb of Christ, but yeah, they could have, right? But now they can't. Mir Baba told where it is basically. I figured out exactly. Oh, I never have proof. Right. Tell us how you did it. Tell us how you did what. Don't catch that, I don't know. Anyway, so that's some overview, my basic bio information, that kind of, spiritual information, spiritual technology, spiritual activism, like Gandhi used, right? It doesn't, you have the proof and truth. I mean, Gandhi wasn't obviously as adept as I am as it because, the cops can't raise a gun on me. So he didn't switch his affiliation, unfortunately. But I have. And they certainly come to me with guns, and they certainly cannot draw. They're not allowed to. In the courtroom, nothing. They can't chain me, nothing. Have you tested your trust to that level? No. Come on. Only I've done that. It's so safe. So it's nothing to worry about, sweet sister, or anything else. So, anyone else? LOL, Lord of Light, right? 33, maybe 33, right? Everything is a code. They're catching. Come on, they're always programming the name of their god into our writing and our head and stuff like that. It's so obvious. All right, people, how we doing? I decided to, instead of making a canned recording of this, and it's now minute 33, how we do? Everybody get filled in a little bit, things they didn't know, whatever. Your directors, I see where you're getting at, sweet Cicely there, but listen, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. That's a good question. Let me wet my whistle here. Okay. Let's get into your programming there a little bit, sweet Cicely, and I'll unwind you a little bit. All right? Here we go. We're given a corporation at birth, a straw man, right? A person, a corporate soul, right? A legal person. Those are all names. Those are synonyms for the same thing. This corporation you're given with an all capital letter name and a 9-digit number. All corporations have an all cap letter name, right? Or they have a name, put it that way, and they have a 9-digit number, whether it's a social security number or whether it's an EIN. It's a 9-digit number, right? So it's a corporation. Okay? So people can never own anything. You see what I'm saying? Nothing can happen to people in this legal system. Nothing. Nothing can happen to you. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Why? Because it's your legal corporation that all the laws and everything apply to, not you. So when you operate in trust, now you can have trust in a person, right? When you operate in trust, I switched my affiliation for we. I'm not with the devil anymore. So that's great. And I switched to this trust. Now I'm not going to use my person anymore. I'm not going to give it a bank account. I'm not going to give it any money. I'm not going to give it a revenue stream. I'm not going to give it anything. Nothing. Except for, as you were watching before, what who was it? Christian brought up, right? He's like, you only want a great credit profile for your person, right? Because anything you tell the any creditor from now on, right? Nothing's reporting to your person anymore. You're not operating financially. So whatever you fill out on applications is the truth. However you tell them, oh, I make this many 100,000 a year, blah blah blah, I work at Google, blah blah blah. That's all true now, because they have no countervailing information, do they? So, and plus, your person can also get food stamps and Medicaid if they do that in your state, and no pay for your cable TV, pay for your internet, pay for not your cable TV, pay for your internet, pay for your phone, pay free. Give all this free stuff, free section 8 housing, free to your zero person, right? Not you. Right? People operate corporations, but they're not corporations. So people can't own anything. You see, it never could, never have been able to, cannot own anything. It's not yours. It's in the name of your person. Now, you should be worried you have anything in the name of your person, because that's a sub corporation of the ego we trust, right? And so that's a sub corporation of, oh, you're under we, you're under the devil. So anytime we just make a rule overnight where you sleep and we're going to take money out of your personal account because we have a rule, right? If we need the gold, we'll take it. If we need the money, we'll take it. And we'll just make a rule overnight. And it's easiest while you're sleeping. And then we just take it out of your bank account. But they can't do that with a trust because it's not yours. You see? So you're in your question, the directors you're talking about are an individual's persons. And they're not going to have anything ever if you follow this methodology, sweet Cicely. And so there's nothing at risk ever. Do you follow me? And so you actually then want to push any risk onto your person, right? Any like, oh, I titled my vehicle in the name of the trust, I put the registration in the name of my person, and kept the insurance the same on my vehicle. Why? Because now you want all the risk on your person, because it has nothing. It isn't you. You see, so under a 501c3, your directors, no, they're not, a person isn't tax exempt. You see, that business called the person is not tax exempt. People are exempt from not just taxes, but owning anything. You can't own anything. You can't owe anything. You can't own or owe. People can't. It's not possible. The corporations you run can do that, but not you. So directors, right, the people are never at risk. And this tax exemption, the 501c3 status, is from the Fed, so it works in all 50 states. That's the answer to your question, okay? So section 501c3 status, section 501c3 status, nonprofit, comes from the IRS, which is federal, so 50 states, and so works in all states. That's it, okay? All right, good question. I went on a little bit because it's important for you to get at the truth, and I know you want the truth if you're asking the questions, so I try to deliver the truth. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I always go on too longer than I think, don't I? And I gotta plug in. I'm like, uh-oh. Got to run out of juice here. Okay, we're good to go. Okay. Sorry. Is the Advanced Financial Solutions course still available? No, we're moving that kind of information over to Patreon, okay, Jameson? And the debt stuff and all this stuff, we can't do it on our school. We'll just get our school shut down. And so we're going to have to move all that information and my new information, like the book I was talking about earlier, reset time loop, exact dates, a lot of more information, but these are kind of highlights, free house for free anywhere in any country, those kind of things, and many more are in the book, and that's going to be released on our new platform on Patreon first, okay? Dave Max, are you familiar with or have ever heard of the non-grantor irrevocable complex discretionary spend for trust? No, that's just a made-up nonsense, blah, blah, blah. See, you can explain, all those pieces of what they mean and how that benefits you. You see what I'm saying? That is, it sounds like a statutory trust means it's started through the Secretary of State. Those are limiting uh, limiters on your trust. Why? What does it matter if it's not grantor or grantor? It doesn't matter. Irrevocable, of course it's irrevocable. Revocable trust receipt is tax stamps to the IRS. Of course, so of course it's irrevocable. Complex, I doubt it. Why say it's complex? That's a limiting word. Discretionary, whose discretion? That no reason to have that type in there. Spendthrift, limit on spending, idiotic, stupid. All those three last things would be stupid things to put limiters on your trust. How's that? That's the answer to your question. All right, good. Uh, owe nothing, control everything. Exactly. Why you would have a limit to your trust? What's the point of that? No, you want a trust where you're not limited to what you can do financially in any way, shape, or form. And limitations would then create, oh, should I report it? Should I tell someone who's going to enforce those limits? That's silly, stupid, no, and unenforceable, honestly. That doesn't make any sense. People that make up nonsense don't post proof of their outcome or what that does for people, just messes up people's programming or, their programmers themselves. I don't know, but Dave, sadly, that is a tar pit that you just go get some gasoline and clean off your feet off of that tar. Ugh, or I guess some, rubbing alcohol or whatever. That's a bunch of nonsense with no proof over there. Yikes. And what an easy question for me to answer, right? Anyone can answer any question. You didn't stump me. I answered it. No one can stump me live. No one has ever stumped me. No one can ask a question that stumps me. It's not possible. Try. Dave, try. Send with more. Everyone try. That's why I'm here. Go ahead. Okay. Sweet Sicily, 26 U.S. Code, 6226, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's great. See, it matters whether you have proof of an outcome, Sweet Sicily. I am doing this, and this is how I did it. Uh, you know, quoting code to an accountant with a master's degree in accounting and an MBA and decades of experience in business and proof I've done this, right? Uh, Try not to laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be polite about it. Okay. Okay, so how much will the Patreon? I haven't worked that out, but I try and make it affordable so everyone can do it. I don't want to limit the truth from being out there, but I also, want to keep my team here to serve you. I have a trusted team here. Uh, you know, all of my team is super well educated. You know, everyone that plagiarizes my work, I've noticed they don't even have, most of them don't even have a college degree. It's sad. But, uh, most of the people that work at Liberty Aid have a college degree, and half of them, let's see, half of them, more than half of them have at least one master's degree, and some of them have more than one. Me and someone else. So, we have the proof that we can do in the real world, plus we have, the traditional mainstream education proof too. There it is, right behind me, right? There it is. There's your master's degrees right there. So, you have receipts of business expenses. That's good for you. If you have programmed into your mind that you have receipts of business expenses, then guess what? That's what you have. Hey, good for you. You're not ready, to be tax-free and stuff like that. No problem. Come back when you're ready, right? We're the only ones approved. Take your time. If you love your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Oh yeah, right. If you love your warden, you can keep your warden. If you love to pay your taxes, you can keep paying your taxes. That's fine. I'm here for when you don't want to do it. No problem. What's the difference between your mentoring program and a Patreon? We're thinking of moving the mentor program over there. For now, it's where it is and doing what it is. But that's going to become a component of the Patreon thing, Christian. Good question. Uh, we're gonna get the Patreon going, and we're gonna get it signed up. But it's gonna take, a little bit of time to do it. My book is out for formatting anyway. Plus, I got my regular schedule during the week and everything. So it's just, we put it in production, and our team does all its different pieces, and we get there as soon as we can. I would say, 30 days or so is probably a reasonable time, where I could say somewhere before that. We'll make it happen. And then we'll build it over time. I want to put in all my old videos too that are hidden that you can't see on YouTube. Put everything in there, all my old stuff too. So, you have receipts of business expenses for your LLC. Okay, when you use this trust from that day forward, you don't have business expenses anymore. You don't owe taxes. Okay, so the sooner you do this, the sooner you're done. And by the way, if your person had no money, had no assets, had nothing, and your LLC had nothing, why would you want to pay a past IRS bill? Like, why pay? There's nobody to pay. So, anyway, might want to save that money. No problem, Dave. Dave, we get some information on the internet. We think it's, that looks very, detailed and informed, and, they're trying to play over our head with the information and stuff. And it sounds complex, and, and that just means if you can't understand it simply, they don't understand it. They're just telling you a bunch of BS. First, the proof that you done some. Second, how you did it. They don't have the proof on what they've done and then what it does, so they're not worth listening to. Just save your time, okay? Your LLC is under your trust. Well, that is the dumbest thing that has ever happened ever financially to anyone in the history of finances, okay? That's the advice you got, to put an LLC in a trust. To put a taxable entity inside a non-taxable entity. I mean, nothing could be more idiotic. You paid $1,300 for the worst advice ever given financially in the history of financial advice. Unbelievable. You separate out, right? Your any taxable risk, you put it over there, and then you make sure, you don't, it never happens. Combining taxable and non-taxable just means, that non-taxable thing is not taxable. I mean, just that is... if there's anything that financially would be pure evil, that's the closest thing to anything I've heard to just pure evil. So that's the saddest thing I ever seen typed inside any live event ever. My LLC is under my trust. It's just the worst. I know nothing. I was hoodwinked and stolen money from and screwed over and left for dead. I'm sorry to hear that, sweet Cicely. But you found us. And you just change your situation and make it all happy now. So, but, we wasted time and energy getting the truth. I did myself. I admit it. So, but now I don't. Okay? Proof? How did you do it? That's it. No one else has proof? Saves you all that time. We do have proof. Okay? Yeah. If they've been connected, it's too late to separate them. So, that's a done deal. Get our trust. We can sort you out, or, just stay in that, with the swamp over there, in the tar pits, which I don't recommend. No catching. Approximately how long after you set up your DUNS number was the trust should you apply for your credit? It's more about the registration of the Secretary of State. That's the main thing. The rest of it doesn't matter. It's that registration that's the thing. Christian, once you get your DUNS number 80, you can get some. Yeah, you can get some. Christian's right. Okay, sweet Cicely. Listen, we can help you here, and we can explain why other places have taken your money and screwed you over. But until you come here and be our student, we can't get you sorted out. And everyone gets sorted out that comes to our school. It's not like somebody doesn't have success. This works for everyone. Every single individual that comes to our school We teach how to do this. It's simple. We have good training. You're not gonna, have any buyer's remorse or some years down the road. Da 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 da. No, this is the only place where you get proof that all these years later, this guy is sitting here live. He's the real guy. There's his real degrees. He's the one that posts his passport, his social security card, his driver's license, all of it. Nothing redacted on YouTube. You see, the only way you can trust, really. Say someone else. I don't know. I've never seen it. See? All right. Shaq is truth. No one else is proof. So how many times do we say it? I don't know. Because it's like all day, every day. It sounds like a parrot, right? Dot, 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 dot. But, we're programmed not to look for that proof first. So that's why I have to say it a lot. Because then people are like, oh, yeah, they don't have proof. I wasted all my time. I wasted all my money for a story. Dang it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, George is right. We're here to learn, and you okay, I had to do that misstep in order to figure out the truth. Hey, everybody did. We just took different missteps. Then we get to the truth, okay, I'm staying with proof. And then we don't get our money taken and our time taken and our face taken, right? Only place with live testimony is Jameson. That's so true, right? Big Freedom, all right, Big Freedom, long time no see. Jack, off topic. No, I said ask anything, so no worries if off topic. I'm just doing my bio today. I kind of did that. I'm taking a few questions, and I'm going to be okay, good talking to you people. So anything is cool. Let's see. Da, 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 da. More of your life story. What happened after the Great Recession? I ended up homeless, and I sued the banks, beat them, got my credit cleared, right? Then I was like, oh, I can get some credit cards and stuff like that. I also made some money from the bankers, right? I charged up all the credit cards, I got, and all that. But see, a bank never signs anything, right? A bank, you go to, get anything, right? A mortgage, a credit card, anything, the bank never signs. So that means you're the only signatory, you're the only party to the contract, i.e. you're the only one that can change the contract. It's a unilateral agreement, it's not actually a contract. There have to be at least two parties to the contract. The bank never signs. Sure, it's a risk they're not going to get paid, but they're not owed anything. That's why they're charging such high interest rates, right? Because they're not owed any money legally. They're not owed a penny. They don't have any paperwork that they signed, so they're not owed a penny. Plus, the We Trust, right? The We Trust / USA Inc. is registered in Pennsylvania, that corporation is, but it's doing business as a financial entity in all the rest of 50 states and every other country. The only thing is it's not registered there. And I point out in court, hey, listen, I do want to follow the law, but you can't require me to use We Trust notes, right, in a state where that corporation isn't registered at Secretary of State. In fact, dollars are used illegally, for example, here in Florida, and I can't do anything illegal. Plus, I don't worship the devil. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to give you devil notes, right? Freedom of religion. I don't have to worship the devil, I thought. And I have a Christian trust, so let me just fill you out a note here. Here's a note from a trust, so that's good to pay things with, right? We're good to go. Done, right? Oh yeah, playing with the bankers. So I got into playing with the bankers after the Great Recession, and in the beginning, I was like, I talked about this before. My tagline was, I guarantee to beat any bank or any government, anywhere, and that's what I went and did. Help people do exactly that, and for any donation amount in the beginning, I was just all teeth back then. I literally hunted. I've been hunting the devil since 07, 08, literally. I call Goldman Sachs. I heard the devil had an office at Goldman Sachs in New York. I called them. Hey, listen, I know who's up in there. And now I've talked to the devil more than 20 times, right? And the first time I talked to the devil was the day I started this trust on 3/14, 2016 in Chase Bank, Tucson, Arizona, quarter before 5 in the afternoon on a Friday, right? Uh, I went to one place and we did the paperwork, and they said, we don't, you can't get a debit card here. You have to go to this other location, which I went to. Just about to close, and it had glass exterior walls. I'm not kidding. And so it's in the waiting room. I could see outside, just completely see all the outdoor parking lot, everything, right? And then this guy pulls up in this, shiny new black gull wing supercar. I didn't know what kind or nothing like that. Gets out of the phone, perfectly dressed, black and white, like Men in Black, right? Short hair, short black hair, flip phone. Sits down next to me. He's talking blah 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 about a trust that he's operating. So closes his phone, sits next to me, and says, "Oh, no." I said, "I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm here to open a trust today." And he looks at me. He says, "Oh, I know." I was like, I've never seen you before. That's what I said to him. I've never seen you before. And he said, yeah, I know, but listen. He said, "I'm here to make you an offer." Oh, temperature of the room goes down 1,000 degrees. Oh my God. And at the same time goes up 1,000 degrees right now in space. Anyway, I was like, you have an offer for me? I said, listen, I'm not sure I'm going to take your offer, but I would like to hear your offer. And so he said, listen, I want you to not open this trust today, and we want you to work with us. We're a real estate development company out of Las Vegas, and we want to give you a piece of every deal moving forward of our real estate development corporation. I was like, oh, okay. I say, I'm not sure I can trust you because I don't know you for future payments, so what would be my payment today? See, like my first payment today if I don't open this trust. He said, we're going to put $485 million into your account today if you don't open this trust. I said, oh, $2016, my soul from the devil sitting right next to me is $485 million. What's your soul worth in 2016? That was mine in $2016. You feel me? So that's the value of this trust and how much it's messing with the devil's kingdom. That's but billion? Come on. Maybe billion. Probably not, to be honest with you, but trillion. If you said 485 billion, 485 trillion, in other words, your whole kingdom, that would have been fine because I'm taking the whole thing anyway, and I'm giving it to Christ. So you shouldn't just give it up the whole kingdom right off the jump. But you did. So you're going to lose. And the devil's here to lose. You see what I'm saying? It's a sacred role. It's it's a beatable entity. I've talked to it enough times, learned how to beat it, and so on. So it's a beatable enemy. I've beaten it. And this book, that I'm putting out is really everything about the truth. You need to beat that enemy. For good. And get a free house from it and everything. I mean, beat it into submission so it's a nothing running from you. You follow me? That's what the devil does to me, and every one of its hedge things or whatever, right? Okay. So there's a little bit of a big freedom, a little bit of information there. Okay. I saw I've been studying trust for a while, Big Freedom, the other part of your question, and I saw the word trust, we trust, and I look, every Secretary of State has limitations on using the word bank and trust in the name of a business, so that you can't use the word bank or trust at the end of any kind of slogan or any kind of marketing or anything. Any words in public, because people become confused that it's a trust or a bank. So those words have special use rules in public, especially on the dollar bill. So I knew, they got we trust, that's a trust. You see, what's that symbol? We, right? Confucius guy says, signs and symbols rule the earth, not words and laws. That's true. So we need 33, that's the devil, and so on, tracked it down. They needed, to get credit, which the U.S. government has, it has to be registered as Secretary of State. They said, oh, it's Declaration of Independence, Philadelphia, so it's got to be registered in Pennsylvania, which I found it is, and that's it. Good question. It was easy. The time loop reset, that's obvious too. You know. Well, here's a question, and this will help you, and you know, begin the work that you need to deprogram yourself about the time loop. What came first, the chicken or the egg? What's the answer? The answer is God, of course. It's a trick question. George, set up a new trust system. Yes, exactly. Go catch up. We are all here because we're actually doing the work. Fantastic, exactly. Go catch up. Good. Oops, my bad. I'll just rewatch. No, that's cool. Yeah. 77. How much does trust differ from a SSM? Okay. Self-supporting ministry. Yeah, I don't know the questions. The difference is this you can operate and do anything with financially. You don't have to be a ministry, or you can do anything at all. Okay, there's nothing you can't do financially. There's no limitations of any kind, and you don't pay the IRS any taxes, and you don't report to the IRS, no matter what you do. Okay. That's different than any other trust, so that's the difference. All right, big freedom. All the documents always have your signature, not theirs, right? No, it's so simple, right? The bankers. Once you realize it's all this hoodwink thing where they never sign anything, it's like, well, I don't owe you anything. You owe me, actually. You have harmed and injured my person's credit report. That amount of money, that interest rate, you owe me that money at that interest rate. Again, so pay up. That's the truth. Less buyers. Free range humans. Yeah. Thanks. Right? I used to do free range humans. I remember that. That's why I'm going to go over to Patreon so I can pull all my stuff, man. This is going to be so fun again. Oh, man, am I going to mess with them? So good. Right? They took all this stuff down off of YouTube, right? I go free range humans, right, when they started the thing we can't talk about, like Voldemort, right? Let's not call it a Irish show, let's call it Voldemort, right? Don't say his name. You'll get taken off of YouTube. Voldemort. Voldemort. Oh, it's so funny. But anyway, yes. I used to be like, hey, free range human, how you doing? I'd walk around, they'd all have their masks on, they'd be scared and stuff, and I'd just be, because they watch their TV, and I was just feeling like, free range human, hey, how you doing? And so many other, like, skits that I would have going for my live walkthrough, programming bill. Jameson. Yeah, that kind of fun. I want to have that kind of fun over there. And plus all that past stuff I'm going to put up on Patreon too. Yeah, all the videos and stuff would be fun. Jameson, did you think about just going to another branch? Yeah, no. If you have an issue with open up a bank, can't go to another branch. That's right. Okay, so that's some background on me, little bio information. What is it? Always copied. Always copied. Never duplicated. Right? I have proof. Oh, I want to save somebody and go over here. Oh, well, you could save somebody and go spend $1,300 and have your life financially ruined. Or you could do what we're doing. Have your finances corrected. Earn thousands of dollars your first year, right? Off your EBT and free internet and on and on and on, right? You do that, or you can go waste your money and time somewhere else. And I'm sorry about that, sweet Sicily, but get proof, get it right, and then never have to worry about it ever again. That's what we provide for you. Is that go to sleep at night, never have a concern, never have a worry. Everything's great. That's what we provide. Because what? I did it first. I posted my proof first. And then all the clients that I had, guaranteed to beat the bank government for that many years, I had a lot of people I helped. A lot. They all got the trust, and hey, they're all golden. To this day. Everything's fine. Right? No one else has that track record. Come on. That's what you need to look for, people. It's your money, for crying out loud. Don't you, don't skip on making sure your assets are safe for the rest of your life, including yourself. That's a pretty important asset. Okay? Okay, people. Thanks for joining us here today. I just thought I'd do a little bio, a little background, a little information on me, and give everybody a free swing at the pinata. Thanks for everybody for taking a swing. And pick pinata. All right. Get the trust. Change your life forever. Have a happy night's sleep. Nobody's ever going to take your money. No more paying the IRS. No more reporting the IRS. Completely, change your life forever. Be happy. We're here to help. My team is here to help. All right? Okay, people. Yeah, live and learn. Yeah, sweet Cicely. No problem. No problem. Yeah, happy to help you, Cicely. My team is here. Any questions further? Contact at libertygainacademy.org. My team is always here to help you. Okay? Me and my team. Yes. Right? We're all doing this. We've been doing this for years. There's no concerns. There's no worries. Come over here. And there's no problems in the rest of our life, right? Get your financial thing set, sorted, and then okay, go live your life. That's why we do this work. All right, people. Thanks for all the great questions. Thanks for all the great input. Post a link on your social media. Get feedback from your compatriots, right? Your fellow domies stuck under the dome. Okay. All right, people. We'll let you know when that Patreon thing happens. Okay, it's in the works, and it will happen. I'll keep you, the buzz in your ear until we make it happen. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, people, and we'll see you Monday. Right, Monday at noon is our next live event. Right, Mondays at noon, Thursdays at 7. This was just go live and do a bio thing. And thanks for joining me.